Dave, tomorrow night, big thing. Is your guy going to come out and prove that he's better or just that she's worse?
Well, it's a big night for Kamala Harris is what it is. This is the first time she's going to be on a stage for all the American people to see. She's been hiding. You take Joe Biden's basement strategy of 2020 and this is on steroids. The mainstream media is culpable for not asking her any tough questions. Tomorrow night, we're going to see her on a debate stage, and we're going to see what she has to say about her open border as the borders are. We're going to see about a broken economy and inflation out of control and high interest rates. We're going to see about the job, the cooking the books on the jobs numbers that just came out last week. We're going to see a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of questions that Kamala Harris is going to have to answer for the very first time, and it's very important for her to do incredibly well because we know Donald Trump is going to be steady and smooth on his feet because, as you said in your open, he's done this a few times.
You did not hear me say he would be steady or smooth. I've said he's done this a lot, and we know what he does. Amisha, what do you see in the opportunity?
You just showed all the clips of him being
I showed the
steady and
clips.
smooth.
I didn't think he was being smooth or anything like what you said.
He won those debates.
That's what you said,
Trump
not what the poll said.
Amisha, go ahead. Trump has clowned multiple times, and he has a very unique way of debating. I think that it plays to Vice President Harris's favor that she has had multiple people who he's debated before in her room during prep. She's also seen all the tapes. What we know is that the campaign is going to push towards trying to get under Donald Trump's skin. Her being a black woman is one thing that gets under his skin, and she doesn't even have to say anything. But beyond that, I think that the ceiling to clear is a whole lot higher for Kamala Harris than it ever will be for Donald Trump. So she's got to, one, create the narrative about herself. There's still a lot of Americans who are asking the question, who is Kamala Harris? And in addition to that, she's got to also point out the things that he's done that are problematic for Americans. Specifically, right now, we're hearing all the conversations about tariffs, and we know that that's going to raise the cost for your average American. In addition to that, his reproductive rights stances that continue to flip-flop, as well as Project 2025. But moreover, she has to define her own policy goals and her own policy strategies. And I think that she's very capable of doing both.
Hold on, I'll come back to you, Dave, but hold on one second. I want to bring in Geraldo. I want to bring in Geraldo, Dave, then I'll come back to you. I promise. You know everybody gets time here. Geraldo, you heard what I was saying off the top, channeling a lot of what you've taught me over the years about the politics of people when it comes to immigration. And, of course, you're living in Ohio now. You know the realities of Springfield, and the least of their problems is Haitian migrants eating their dogs. How do you think that kind of projects onto what tomorrow night's about?
Well, I think tomorrow night, just very briefly, I think Kamala, the stakes are much higher for her because the surveys, the polls, the 538, Nat Silver, she has plateaued. Whatever rocket boost she had initially has leveled off, maybe even dropped a tiny, tiny bit, according to insufficient polling, but it is an alarming news item for her. So the stakes could not be higher for her. And to side with immigrants for her is going to be a very, very difficult thing. I must say I was alarmed. I was shocked when I saw that dude carrying the two geese. I didn't think there was any basis at all for the absolute racist canard that J.D. Vance was pushing. It's a very emotional topic. I've written a couple of books about it. It's a lived experience in other ways. Springfield's a community, as you point out, 60,000 people. There's now 20,000 Haitians, all in recent years. You can't change a community that profoundly without having, some rough spots. And it's one thing to talk, or you look at the Rio Grande. It's one thing to talk about humanity and humanitarian approach to immigration. It's another thing when you're in the Springfield, Ohio, and for whatever reasons, whether you're sick of working for minimum wage or you have an opioid abuse problem, whatever it is, you don't want to work for minimum wage at the Honda plant or the Dole plant, which is the reasons that manufacturing boom in that town is why the Haitians are there in the first place.
Well, they have skilled labor.
And they are in Springfield mostly legal.
Yeah.
They are mostly
TPS.
legal. They have temporary protected status, as you point out. They are not illegal aliens. They are refugees, legal refugees. They work hard. They have tremendous enterprise. Anyone who's ever been to a West Indy parade knows how hard the energy, the work. I think that Kamala's got to have the best day of her life tomorrow night.
Well, look, it's probably her last best chance to take him on toe-to-toe.